All right. I should be live. Good, good, good. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Unlimited Hangout. Um, First and foremost, I do want to apologize. Um, Last week, I was going to do a show and then get everybody together this week, but got so busy it didn't exactly pan out that way, right? Uh, you know how it is. Life is just like that. So today, and hopefully uh, I get E-Rock in that I could talk about all the big news that's happened this today and last week. Everything going on in gaming, Xbox, you name it. So that we could have a discussion and then enjoy our Monday. So everyone, hey Daya, let me send you a link. And also Daya, what's the best way to reach you? Because sometimes it seems hard to reach. Uh, but yeah, first and foremost, the big news today. Um, the big news today is Razo said you must be molding a LMAO PlayStation for life. Nah, this isn't. Raz, this is the wrong channel for all that. I don't do the overreaction. I don't do the I'm gonna sell my Xbox. Fuck you, Xbox nonsense. That's the wrong show. All right. Um, because I mean, you get into first gears, going to PlayStation, and to that I say, oh, cool. Listen, months ago when it was announced that Forza was going to PlayStation, I pretty much have the same views I did then. Ideally I don't like it, but this is what Xbox is doing, and they got to run a business, and I'm not here to tell people, listen, I'm not the guy. Listen, if you want an Xbox dude who's going to be on here ranting and raving, bitching and moaning, I'm the wrong guy. All right, because yeah, I could speak on something that I don't like, but I'm not selling my Xbox. I'm not, what I'm saying. I'm not giving none of that stuff. Is it ideal? No, it's not. Fair enough, but Gears going to PlayStation. Look, this is what Xbox is trying to do. They trying to dominate all the game, and they dominated on the apparently they dominated on the PlayStation Store, right? When they put stuff like Indiana Jones and Forza, and they want to keep doing that. That's the path they took. So be it. I don't work at Microsoft, so whatever the results of all this is. Um, and by the way, they had a good financial report last week too. So
Yeah.
it's not like hey Daya, thank you for joining. So it's not like and I'll introduce you in a minute, but I'll just getting everything out there first.
Hello.
Yeah, hey Daya.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if I was broadcasting. Okay.
Okay, yeah. No. I'm gonna introduce you in a minute.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, and that's the thing. Microsoft had a good financial report, and you know what I'm saying. But due to stuff like the tariffs, the prices, everything is going up except for Game Pass, putting games elsewhere. Hey, look, it's business. It's not ideal as a fan because the fanboy in me wants the exclusives on that nonsense. But what you gonna do? And we're gonna dig deeper into it later. But Daya, thank you for joining, my friend.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah, the first lady in chat. Introduce yourself real quick.
I'm Dia4568, the first lady of chat, first lady of Xbox, and I'm glad to see you guys doing well. I know it's been a long gap since I've talked to anybody. I kind of missed
Yeah.
the group, and oh gosh, it's been a lot of news, so I can't wait to dig into it.
Oh yeah, big time, and big, and shout out to Big B, Eternal Gamer, Roz Oles, or I think that's what it's pronounced. Mr. Kima, of course, Mr. Kima, Vontae said he's here early for once. Yeah, man.
All right,
But
Vante.
yeah, and I see the chat is getting fired up already. But yeah, Daya. So the big news today was Gears of War Reloaded, which is pretty much just a remastered of Gears of
What Gears
War.
One?
Yeah,
Gears.
the ultimate. If and by the way, if you own the Ultimate Edition on Xbox, for example, you get the free upgrade.
Oh, that's
Right?
nice.
Yeah, because
Okay.
on Xbox they don't charge you for upgrades, unlike the other consoles. But
Right.
yeah, launching at $40. If you want to buy it, Gears Reloaded is coming, and it's coming to PlayStation.
Okay.
right? As you see on screen here, Gears Reloaded comes with Xbox Series X and X, Xbox PC. Oh, that's interesting. They call it Xbox PC now.
PC.
Xbox Cloud Gaming, PS5, and Steam. I guess to differentiate from Steam, I guess.
Right.
In summer 2025. And my take on this is, y'all might not like me today because I'm not. Because my take is, listen, when we get to the other topic, it's probably going to be a bit more extreme than this. But it's like, yeah, I mean, I got used to it, Daya. For after the moment they put stuff like Forza on PlayStation and said that Indie's going to PlayStation.
Same,
At this point, it's like, okay, they're running a business. I'm not going to do nothing, and I'm not going to cry about it, because there's nothing to cry about, really. At the end of the day, does Gears going on PlayStation prevent me from playing it?
No, and honestly, it's look that we've just found out about their financials, and I won't go into too much detail because I think you're going to cover that, right?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna try to cover everything.
Okay, well,
today,
the financials, if people are not aware, they're raking in a lot of money now. I mean, now we're starting to roll, and we can just say thank you to the PlayStation gamer. You're buying a lot of the games and you're subsidizing our gaming, so we want to thank you for that. But they're smart. They're getting their money everywhere, and they're flexible. They're able to move in the market however they need to move in it, and based on location. If a country is more cloud based, they do well with that. Like say Japan does very well with that, right? Then they can actually dominate with cloud in a space like that. Or if pretty soon, if a country is more handheld based or mobile gaming or something like that, they exist on the phone. And then you also have the handheld option that is coming, right? So first the whatever that Asus version that they're going to come out with first, right. And then whatever Xbox is also working on, because they have their own proprietary one that they're working on. So they are cornering the market, and there's no place in gaming that you can't go. So with that being said, getting back to Gears of War, they're just doing what they already said they would do. I don't know who's still overreacting over this anymore.
Yeah,
because
you know how the internet is, they see something like this and they act like they never seen this happen before. No. It's been happening all generation. Yeah. Also, real quick, Mr. Keeman called it Girls of War.
Girls of War.
Oh, he said God. It's the older Girls of War Ultimate Edition.
Oh man.
Yeah, wow. I know, Mr. Keeman, and that's why we get the free upgrade. And thank you for joining E-Rock, the artist formerly known as E-Rock Man. Thank you for joining us as well, and introduce yourself, my friend.
Hey guys, this is E-Rock X, always the Don King of Xbox, the hype man for the Xbox brand, and it's always good to join my colleagues here and talk about these subjects. There is a lot to unpack today. Sadly, I wish there'd be a day where we wouldn't have to talk about this shit, but here we are. Here we are.
Yeah. That's gaming for you, and as usual, there's no gaming news until Xbox does it. And Xbox has had a lot of news this last week or so. So hopefully we could tackle everything. Daya was speaking on the first topic here. Sorry to cut you off when E-Rock jumped in.
Oh, that's okay. E-Rock is he's the veteran. We always have to make room for him.
Yeah, always.
And basically, Gears of War going everywhere is, that's fine, because I think they're gonna want people to buy the next Gears game. This is they need, like myself, people need to probably who don't have a deep history with Gears of War. This is fantastic for them. If they would not go back to maybe the older games, they will go to this. And with multiplayer, oh my gosh, that's the one thing I was surprised Gears didn't have originally. Like true multiplayer. But now you can go through the whole game probably as each of the characters, right? Did they explain the multiplayer? Because I'm hearing it has multiplayer now, so I assume you can pick one of each of the characters and play through the whole campaign as them. Is that how it works?
I was gonna read this all on screen.
Okay. Well,
but now that you E-Rock and Tuck said he was want to join, I'm not really gonna have time to break it down like that.
Oh shoot. Okay.
Yeah, but that's I literally just did this right after work. But yeah, any other yeah, but
Points here.
continue there. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I getting ahead of myself. I thought you usually go over this stuff before, and then
Yeah.
you explain to me. So I just heard about this news. I don't know if it just dropped or anything, but it
Yeah,
feels
yeah,
like
it just dropped. It just dropped today, just a
okay.
few
That's
hours
why.
ago.
Yeah, because I don't know enough about the article.
The Unlimited Production just bought a house. Things are
Yeah.
going great at his job. I didn't know about this until about 2 hours ago. I'm just going about my day to day life, and I watch a lot of YouTube.
Okay.
I watch a lot of ASMR videos. It relaxes me, and I watch a lot of reaction videos to see young folks rediscovering things
Oh,
that
that's fun.
we
Reaction
had watched
video.
years ago. So
Yeah.
of course I see the ubiquitous Xbox is dead video, and I'm like, oh, here we go again. And I'm like, will there ever be a day? Will there ever be a day? And this is why me and Hebot and Sega Forever has always said we'll be glad when PlayStation is gone. Not to see another gaming company die, but to see their idiot fan base go away. Because it's like, guys, I got to be honest with you. I mean, I love getting together and talking with you guys, but like, I really do get tired of addressing this shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let Dia finish saying what she got to say because I got a lot to unpack about this whole Gears of War Reloaded and the gaming price increases, and I'm not gonna pull any punches.
Same.
I'm 56 years old. I'm gonna say what I gotta say. My opinions are my own. They have nothing to do with you guys. But like, it's just so Dia. It's just so frustrating having to deal with this stuff as an Xbox gamer because we're eating good over here. We like this has been a crazy year. This has been a year where there's been nothing. Actually, the last 4 years, there's been nothing but games in Game Pass. But this last 6 months has been bananas, and it's not done yet. We are so
It's not.
spoiled over here at Xbox.
Mhm.
But when something like this happens, and a 10-year-old game goes to Xbox, goes to PlayStation. This game is 10 fucking years old.
Yeah.
I
So
don't.
yeah.
They could call it Reloaded, whatever. It's Gears of War Ultimate Edition Remastered.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we played this shit 10 years ago. We all own it. Like matter of fact, I caught it on sale when they dropped it down to $15. Let me cop this shit. We've moved on to new IPs like South of Midnight. I'm waiting for
That's a
Perfect Dark.
fantastic game
Yeah,
too. Oh my god.
yes, it is. It's a masterpiece. I'm
It is.
waiting for Clockwork Revolution.
Mhm.
I love Gears of War. I love Halo, but we've moved on to new IPs. So
Yeah.
to see these clowns with these Xboxes dead videos, Theo, when is Xbox going to die? I've been hearing Xbox is dead since 2017.
I
When
think
is
it's
this shit?
like in a resurrection machine where it just dies and then get resurrected. It dies and
like,
get resurrected.
it's like I'm 56 years old. Theo. I'm like, I really don't have any passion for this shit anymore. I have a passion for gaming, but
Yeah.
like to sit and continue addressing these morons and all of these YouTubers out here, good YouTubers who speak common sense, like a VG Fight School and Oh No It's Alex. Trust me
Oh,
when I tell you,
yeah.
trust
Yeah.
me when I tell you, you guys are going to get tired of this shit sooner or later. You think you're not, but you are, because these guys they never stop. They never crap gamer and fucking and Dreamcast guy, they never stop. But anyway, Dia, go ahead
Yeah,
and finish. I
that's
didn't mean to cut
why.
you off.
Yeah, that's why I try to approach it just from a reporting, just talking about the topic at hand instead of
Right.
talking about PlayStation fans and the
Exactly.
reactions.
Yeah.
Because I don't need to be. I haven't been on Twitter in ages. I don't need to be on there to know that the Xbox guys are complaining. Oh, fuck you, Microsoft, and the PlayStation fans are doing a victory lap for a game they got to pay for that we're literally getting a free upgrade for. Erock said he bought it for $15. Guess what, Erock? You're not spending a dime on Reloaded.
Yeah,
Instead,
it's
you get the
true.
free upgrade.
Yeah.
So that's why I try to just approach it, just head on like this, because I think it makes for a much better discussion.
I don't know why you would be doing a victory lap though when the company you worship is charging you $750 for a console, $70 for games. You still have no Game Pass like service, and to put more salt in the wound, you have no games. The only games on your box is coming from Xbox, the console you say you hate. So like what like a victory lap? It's just I try to make sense of this crazy shit. I can't, so I gave up. Go ahead, guys. I digress.
Unlimited, you're gonna welcome Tuck in first before I
Oh
continue.
yeah. Hey Tuck, thanks for joining us, Tuck Master Man. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. How everybody doing?
Hi, Tuck.
Oh man,
What's
we
up, Tuck?
good. We good
How you
as
doing,
always.
First Lady of Chat? How you doing, E-Rock?
Yo,
Pretty good so far.
Yeah. Yeah,
we
my
doing
I'm,
great
praise
over here.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
mean,
my
as an
praise him,
Xbox gamer, I'm in bliss, honestly. I
yeah.
just wanted to say hi to Six
Police
Slayer.
gonna
We
love.
we missed him, so
Oh
I
yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to say hi.
Six Layer, Anthony Chipmunk, the
Darth Sin. Who is Darth Sin?
Dark Sin. You know, whenever something like this happens, you know, because this is a big deal to a lot of people. Gears on PlayStation, my goodness, new people pop up.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, just to wrap it up, I'm not going to go into the article too deep or anything. I heard that it's multiplayer for Gears and things like that. So it's adding content, it's adding things to the game too. So it's wonderful. As for what Microsoft is doing, they are a well-established, large, and I mean large publisher, and they have to look at the entire gaming industry because they service all of it in one form or another, whether it's mobile, whether it's MOBAs, whether it's MMO, RPGs, they have it all. So, in my opinion, it makes sense that they just they treating the whole industry as their customer, and they're going to sell wherever they want to sell or what they need to sell. But they do not forget the fact that they take very good care of those who have always stood by them. And you know that now more than ever because with the price hikes that are happening everywhere, those of us who are in Game Pass, we are not worried about anything. We're just going to keep playing these games at a lower cost, and we know that we're getting the very best version of these games too. So, I mean, Xbox is taking good care of me. That's all I can say. So, for the Xbox gamers, please don't melt down. Most of you haven't though. I think we've weeded out most of the people who have a problem with the games going everywhere. And by the way, it's going to happen to PlayStation. It already has. They're already on PC. And it's going to happen to Nintendo. You mark my words when I say this. All of them will do it because this
Yeah.
is where the industry is going to go. Some are faster than others. Xbox is ahead of the game. But yes, it will all do it because they can't grow in the console market anymore. It's
Right.
very unfortunate, but the young generations are not adopting it. Okay, so
I'm glad you said that, Daya, and sorry to cut
uh-huh.
you off because
Okay, no
I want
problem.
to tie it into the intellectual architect saying Microsoft is in full crash out mode. My dude, just last week they posted how gaming revenue is up, driven by the growth of Call of Duty, Minecraft, and Game
Minecraft.
Pass.
Yep,
They're not
yep.
crashing out; they're running. It's called this is why I want gamers to understand, guys. They're running a business, and running a business means that if putting out exclusives like they used to isn't profitable anymore, you adjust. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not and I don't, like I said, I don't work at Microsoft. So this whole a 10, 12-year-old game, whatever it came out in 2016 or 2014,
Yeah.
hey, they're gonna do what they gotta do. You know what I'm saying?
If
And my thing is like, all right, cool. You know what? But at the end of the day, I'm still fine because Game Pass has so much content. It's not like it. See, it would upset me is if there was nothing. You know what I'm saying? Game Pass didn't had like 2 games on it or some shit. Something ridiculous to where man, why am I paying for this damn thing? Like how I used to think of cable, man. Why am I
yo,
paying so much for cable?
yo, can I address a couple of things?
Yeah, of
Sure,
course.
sure.
Since we got to do this, we got to do it quick because as you know, Unlimited Production got probably about 45 minutes. We got to be out. listen, listen,
Yeah.
listen. To the first dude, just like Xbox is in full crash out mode. If crash out mode is reporting that y'all posted, go back to that last comment, Unlimited. If crash out mode means you posted for your last quarterly earnings $3 billion, that's a hell of a crash out. That's a hell of a crash out.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a crash out. And so I want to address these
Hold
comments.
on. Microsoft saw over 70.1 billion in revenue for the quarter, up 11% year over year. Net income is 25.8 billion over up. See, so how do you crash out when you're successful? This that's what always kills me. But continue.
Because this guy, Eternal the Gamer, and Crap Gamer and Dreamcast guy are still stuck in the console wars. They cannot and will not dare and will not tuck switch off from that. They see every move that Xbox makes, like I did. Yo, nobody was more pissed than me when I found out that Forza Horizon was going over to PlayStation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I looked at it and said, damn, a 5-year-old game is going over to PlayStation. And basically people are pissed because they have no more ammunition in their little console war bullshit. Xbox is evolving into Netflix, right? And I'm sure Blockbuster Video, they laughed at Netflix when they were going into digital and streaming and putting their content everywhere. And Blockbuster was late to the game. Blockbuster was handing out DVDs through the mail when Netflix has switched to streaming. You're already too late to the game. So somebody had posted a comment. It was a long comment. It was that guy Eternal the Gamer.
Mm-hmm.
And like none of y'all comments in the comment section make any sense because the fact of the matter is that Xbox is a business. They're going to do whatever they're going to do to keep posting huge numbers. They own Minecraft. They own Activision. They own Bethesda. They're going to do what they got to do. We are not in the console wars no more. We are in the content wars. And Unlimited Production, Dia, myself, and Heba and Sega Man, we cannot keep going over this over and over again. We cannot keep trying to teach people the same lessons all over again. We cannot keep trying to, and this goes to everybody in the comment section. Six Slayer, who I love everybody. This dude that's making all the comments. We cannot keep trying to turn y'all analog niggas digital. We can't. So
I'm not even trying to convince them. I'm here for the conversation.
Yo, dig this. Neither am I, but like people just go crazy when they see shit like this. So Gears of War Reloaded, which is basically a reskin of Gears of War Ultimate, a game that came out in 2014, is going over to PlayStation. And what does that mean to me exactly? Look, when the fuck is Perfect Dark coming out? When the fuck is Fable coming out?
Yeah.
When the fuck is Clockwork Revolution coming out? That's what I care about. I care about South of Midnight. I care about Doom
next month.
And dig this. If you got Game Pass, you don't pay. Some dude was like, I don't care about Game Pass. Well, I'm glad you don't care about Game Pass, but I do. Because dig this. Y'all analog motherfuckers in the comment section.
Yeah.
Game Pass is saving me hundreds of dollars a year.
You ain't lying.
It's saving me money I ain't gotta spend, man. Like, again, we've been through this before. See, a lot of y'all in the comment section is kids. Well, some of y'all is 40, but a lot of y'all is kids. Everybody here on this panel got homeowners insurance. We got bills. We got shit we gotta pay. Some of us got motherfucking houses we gotta repair. Ain't got time to buy no fucking games. We spending all this money on. I'm not fucking 27 years old no more in the tourism industry when I have fucking a ton of money to just throw around. I got fucking responsibilities, man, and I have had them for a while, right? So Game Pass has been like crazy. Game Pass has been like a godsend, right? And so Phil Spencer and them is going full in with this being a third-party publisher, and the results is paying off because them being a third-party publisher is allowing them to continue putting games like South of Midnight and the game Deal was looking forward to dropped yesterday, Towerborn. It allows them to keep putting games into Game Pass. And guess what? Unlimited Production Game Pass could go up to $30 a month. You know what?
Yeah.
It'd still be worth it because they just threw in the last 6 months. They threw in about $900 over games. $900 over games,
including a game everybody loves right now, Expedition 33.
Man, they nailed that one. That was a good get for
I didn't have to pay for Expedition 33.
Yeah.
And how I do is when them games come on sale, that's when I cop them. Unless it's something that really, really impresses me, like South of Midnight, then I hit buy. That's the thing about Xbox. They giving us choices over here, man. So y'all can make all the videos y'all want about Xbox is dead. And y'all can type all of this shit about Xbox is crashing out. It's like, whatever, man. That shit don't bother me. I like to address it because y'all sound fucking stupid holding on to the console war. The console wars is dead, man. The console wars is dead. And guess what? Believe me, the PlayStation They're going to follow suit. They're following suit now.
They're already following suit. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
you know, because there are more PlayStation fans in the chat than usual today. Because again, no, actually, usually my chat is pretty clean. It's a lot of Six Layers and Cocoa Fiends, right? Like Six Layer here said it's May 2025. Half the year is almost over. What has Sony released on PlayStation? At this rate, Xbox will release more games on PlayStation 5 than Sony. Yeah, exactly.
True.
And,
yeah.
You know, and thanks for he said I watch, I just don't. Hey, that's completely fine, Darth. You know, hey, I appreciate you whether you comment or not, my friend. But yeah, E-Rock, just back to what you're saying. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. The PlayStation guys, they're stuck in that 2006 mindset. Even though Sony is creeping, you know, slowly, like Sony is where Sony's at right now is where Microsoft was at a decade ago. Because remember, 2016, that's when they started putting the PC stuff that we see PlayStation doing now. So in 10 years, in 2035, when Sony's finally doing this stuff, you know, because they're a decade behind on the times, and Microsoft have swarmed the industry, becoming the number one publisher in gaming, they're just going to be stuck behind and looking like fools, in my opinion. But I mean, and that's on them. It's not something that, you know what I'm saying. It's just that, okay, this is interesting news, but my thing, and like I said today, is Gears of War Reloaded going to prevent me from playing it? No, so I don't care that much. You know what I'm saying? Xbox, listen, they're going to do what they got to do. They've adjusted, and I've adjusted with them.
Same, yeah.
You know, and until E-Rock, Daya, and Tuck, Microsoft or Xbox ever does something that for me with my spending dollars like drives me away, like cable did. You know, then okay, that's one thing. If Game Pass is ever $200 a month, then I'll be like, all right, screw this, I'm out. But until then, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's not the end of the, like, none of this stuff is never the end of the world to you because it's just gaming, really. But Tuck, wait, E-Rock, did you finish what you were saying before I move over to Tuck?
Oh yeah, you can move over to Tuck because I'm done with that subject, man.
Yeah.
Because I know you want to move on to the whole price hike thing, and I got a lot to say about that shit. So move on to Tuck.
All right, yeah. So Tuck Master, you there?
Yes, I am.
All right, man. You know, so it's always great to hear from you too, Tuck. But I think Tuck's been on vacation this week too. So so he got a lot of free time. But Tuck, man, what are your thoughts on this? Gears of War Reloaded, it's pretty much a free remaster for us because I assume you also own Gears too, Gears Ultimate Edition, and it's going to be on Game Pass, but it's also going to PlayStation this August. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, let me ask you this for number one. How old is that game?
Yeah, it came out in 2014.
Like 11 years old or some shit like that.
So in other words, what's the big point? Yeah. I mean, it's an 11-year-old game.
Yeah. Sorry, I apologize. Tuck, but I got to answer this question because I don't know why I'm giving this attention, but I feel you. But I'm confused on what Microsoft is trying to do. They're trying to make money. But continue, Tuck. I'm confused.
Yo, intellectual architect. Apparently, they're not happy with $3 billion a fiscal quarter. They look at what that is. They want motherfucking $4 billion a fiscal quarter. Yeah. So instead of me as an Xbox dude fighting that shit, no, you gotta keep Gears of War and you gotta keep Forza on Xbox so I can have ammunition against the PlayStation fans. Microsoft said, fuck your ammunition, nigga. We trying to make money. And so as an adult now who understands that shit, I'm like, yo, okay, I get it, man. As long as you keep giving me free shit at Game Pass, y'all do what y'all gotta do. You understand what I'm saying?
Man, I just don't get how people can realize that, hey, this is all about making money, man. It's all about keeping the industry alive. We talked about this long doggone time ago where when gaming was in a state of being real bad. But now Microsoft has bought gaming back. People not, I mean, now I'll put it like this, y'all. Now the PS5 people got a chance to play their system now. Let's put it like that. At first, they wouldn't play anything. That's on a bigger and better system anyway. They got a chance to play Xbox games on their system. And what did you say, Unlimited? They got the top 6 games. The top 6 games on the PlayStation Store. So Microsoft got to be doing something right. Okay, you're going out there buying them. So stop arguing about something that you like. You like gaming.
Yeah.
So in other words, whatever Microsoft does, it's just like you said, we already got over that. We're already done with that and all that stuff. So,
PlayStation 1, what did they win? I'm sorry, I'm just reading the comment. PlayStation 1, what the fuck did they win? They couldn't even buy Activision.
Again, like you said, the console war mindset. They think because they're playing these games on their console that somehow they won the war, but the wars for them is who makes the most money. You know what I'm saying? And then for us as consumers is who plays the most games, and we do. We got like Game Pass has approximately 500 games and all this other stuff, you know. And just because y'all paying full price for those games, I don't. They really think that they're triggering us by saying, "Ha we're." They're essentially saying, "Ha we're playing your games." You know what I'm saying with these comments?
Big deal.
Yeah. No, yeah. Who cares? I mean, it ain't affecting what I'm playing.
When PlayStation ever, and we're gonna end this little argument right here for everybody in the comment section, because y'all don't follow business, do y'all care to? Y'all don't follow the business of this shit because y'all still counting boxes sold. So if that's what you mean by PlayStation already won, Phil conceded. Phil conceded what? He sure is conceding. He conceded by buying Activision and Bethesda. Listen, I'm gonna end this shit right now. When PlayStation ever releases their quarterly financials, which they never do, when they release their quarterly financials, leave that comment there. Whenever they release their quarterly financials, then you could say they won. Until then, it's amazing that they never fucking release their quarterly financials. You don't find that bizarre? That a company that's headquartered in America never releases their financials. And somebody said in the comment section, and yeah, I'm gonna address all this shit. I'm here. I might as well unload. Somebody said these guys are happy renting games. You damn right, motherfucker. I don't have to buy them. Listen, all you motherfuckers in the comment section, if you tell me you want to buy every game that's out there, let me talk slowly so y'all can hear this. Y'all in the comment section, all of y'all are some stupid. Yeah, he sounds like he's happy renting games. Y'all are some stupid motherfuckers. Because again, y'all must live at home. Y'all must live at home with your parents. Y'all must live in your grandmother's basement. Let me explain something to you, man. I'm 56 years old, nigga. I got homeowners insurance, car insurance, this shit called life insurance. Yep. For me and my mom, which I know y'all niggas don't have life insurance, because y'all young white folks and black folks don't believe in life insurance. Yeah, you gotta keep this shit called life insurance. Man, I gotta pay a bunch of shit. Okay, every fucking month, gas, water, electric, utilities. Mm-hmm. Then after all that shit's paid, you gotta buy this little shit called food, and that's through the goddamn roof. And I like to eat. So hold on, let me get to this. So if you think I got a bunch of money sitting around to buy fucking games like I'm some 12-year-old Asian kid, you out of your goddamn mind. So if somebody provides a service that gets me, I just paid $20, $30 a month where I can get all the games I can play, hundreds of games. If somebody provides me a service where I pay $30 a month and I can eat all the groceries I want, cover your ears, dear. If somebody give me a service where I can pay $30 a month and have all the relations with girls that I want, man, I'm going for that. You do whatever you want to do. You rock out how you want to rock out with your cock out. I'm going to keep renting games because guess what? That shit is the bomb. And guess what? If the game is a hit, you go ahead and buy it. That Microsoft gives you a choice. The fact that we still explaining that is just crazy. It's crazy. It is madness. Go ahead, Tuck.
Now I'm over here looking at this one guy said the weirdest move that Microsoft was making. I said, wait a second. Don't blame Microsoft. Don't blame Sony. Don't blame Nintendo when all this stuff started going up. You blame your daddy, Orange Man.
That's right. Oh, Six Slayer, you cool.
Man. He's the one that getting all this stuff going up.
No, I disagree with that. They was raising prices at the start of the I
love you dearly, but I gotta agree. I gotta agree with Tuck on this one.
I'm not gonna bring politics here, but
politics we talk about. This is what it's all about. Ever since he came in office, everything's going up. Now
everything was already going up. What was you living through?
But what
was you living through? I was going through. I know how prices was going. I know what I was going through. Nobody is going to tell me or gaslight me into thinking that things was good under the Biden years. It wasn't.
No, they weren't. They weren't good.
We were already in that state.
They weren't good during the Biden years. They weren't good during the Trump years. Definitely weren't good during.
It
They
wasn't
weren't
good
good
for a
during the
while.
Obama years.
That's my point.
What do you know why, dear? Because we live in a world where there's a little shit called inflation. Um,
I know.
it's
Yeah,
not
you're right.
it's not 1956, and a pound of steak is not $2 anymore.
You're
It's not
absolutely right.
it's not the deal, and I love you dearly. It's not 1978. You can go to the car dealer and get a brand new Camaro Z28
I
for
know that.
$3,000. Look it up. Look it up. It's this little shit called inflation, right?
I
And
know what
things
that is.
continue to go up.
Yes, I do.
But when you raise tariffs on China, when you raise tariffs on Canada and Mexico, where your components of your VZO TV, where your components of your Honda Accord or
I
your
know.
Chevy Caprice Classic are fucking made, right? When
Uh-huh.
you raise tariffs on these other countries, they do what's called a retaliatory tariff.
I
And what
already know
happens
that.
is these manufacturers of VZO TVs, computers, and Chevys have to raise their price. A Chevy car costed $27,000 just 2 months ago, right? Now that shit is 36 or $38,000, right? This
Uh-huh.
is a direct result of these tariffs. And guess what, people? There's nothing you can do about it. There's
Yeah.
not a fucking thing you can do about it, but get out of gaming or get a PC like y'all all said y'all was going to do
Everybody
2 years ago when
now.
Xbox and PlayStation raised their prices. And y'all didn't do it yet. So do me a favor, especially all y'all that voted for the Orange Man November 5th, shut the fuck up and pay your $80 for that game. Because in November, before the tariffs happened, Sony raised their prices of their games and charged $750 for a console with not a tariff in sight.
Thank you for
with
bringing
not
that
a
up.
with not a
Thank you
tariff
for bringing that up. Yeah.
with not a tariff in sight. The
Thank you.
Jap said y'all going to pay $750 for a console.
For a
Yeah.
And somebody
console.
said
They
I'm
said
I'm
that, yes.
and somebody said I'm coping. I'm coping because I'm using my goddamn brain. Well, then I'm coping like a motherfucker then. Like the Japanese said, we're going to charge y'all $750 for a console, and y'all going to fucking pay for this shit. The Japanese said before the tariffs happened that y'all going to pay $80 for a Nintendo game, and y'all always eat it the fuck up because this is who y'all are. I don't even know why we sitting here. This is who. Now hold on. Somebody said if you made more money, you wouldn't be looking for the digital equivalent of a gaming coupon. It's a better job or hold on, stop now. Unlimited
Wow.
production. Leave
Wow.
that comment up there. Don't you move that comment.
Oh no, I was going to go in on him. I was going to go in on him.
And then you go.
But
Let me explain.
I think you're going to do my job for me. So
let me explain something to you, Eternal Gamer. And then after we going on you, I'm gonna ask my good friend Unlimited Production to get you the fuck up out of here. Let me tell you something, son. I'm 56 years old. Okay. I've been a manager. I've been in the tourism industry. I've been working probably since before you were fucking born. Okay. All right. I've had money. I've made money. I've had new cars. I've made money, and I probably wasted more money than I ever spent. Okay. I had a job once where I made $400 in a day. It's called the tourism industry, okay? $400 in a fucking day from doing weddings, bar mitzvahs, and proms. So don't tell me anything about making fucking money. And when I was making all that money, when I could, I would go to CVS or Rite Aid and get as many Xbox Live cards as I could. Remember them? And I would stock up on Xbox Live. If I saw a deal on a game, I went for it. I used to go to Dollar Tree and shop at the dollar store. Do you know why? Because a fool and his money is soon parted, and I don't want to part with the money. I'm not no fool. So what Game Pass, this digital gaming coupon does, if it saves me money, Eternal Gamer, you fucking dickhead, so I can buy more steak, guess what? I like steak a little bit more than I like playing video games, because at the end of the day, video games are for fucking children. And we are all adult children here, including yourself. And what you do when you grow up, you shift to being an adult instead of being a child. See, when I was a child in my 20s, I did things children did. Bought big chains, went to the nightclub. Nigga, you talking about making money. You talking to a man who took a credit card and put a down payment on a Camaro on a credit card. Yeah, I had it like that. That's how fucking stupid I was. Not realizing that the credit cards wasn't free money. So don't ever tell me about money, son. Don't ever tell me about money. So you trying to shame me because I'm using Game Pass, then man, shame the shit out of me. Get yourself a better job and deal with your life decisions again. Nigga, I have a house. What do you have? I have a car. What do you have? I'm dealing with adult shit. And I'm willing to bet you, Eternal Gamer, that you have nothing. You live, I could tell by your cadence that you have nothing. You live at home with your fucking parents or your grandparents, and it's not worth discussing it with you. Now I'm gonna let Unlimited go in on you, and then I'm gonna get you the fuck up out of here. I know it's not my podcast, but I'm asking my friend to get you the fuck up out of here.
And your wish will be granted in a minute, but give me a second.
Well, let me address them after you before you
well,
kick them off here.
All right, yeah. I guess we're going like 3-on-1 handicap match, dude.
Yeah, let's go in.
Maybe 4 if Tux wants into, but yeah, Eternal Gamer. A part of me gets it. You're trying to get a rise out of us, but spare that bullshit. All right, spare the bullshit. No, we're not crashing out. We're just telling you how life works. Video games, at the end of the day, is a hobby. It's a luxury. It's basically a luxury item. Even before the price increase, it's a luxury
Yes, sir.
item.
Yeah.
Because you don't need it. We don't need games to survive. You know, I don't need to be here on this podcast to talk about games. I just do it because I love the hobby. E-Rock here because, you know, we met and he loved doing it. Dea, as wonderful as she is. Tuck, as awesome, amazing as he is, right?
Yeah.
And so for you to insinuate that because someone wants to play a game by not spinning out the ass that they're worse than you is bullshit. All right. First of all, PlayStation fans, you PlayStation guys, do you ever realize how stupid you sound when you brag about paying the most for something? You know what I'm saying? When it comes to buying a car, do you pay full sticker price? Because let me tell you something. That's not something people usually do. They usually try to haggle for a lesser price. You know what I'm saying? Do you guys use coupons when you go shopping, or do you buy anything on sale? Do you do Black Friday shopping? Because that's all we're doing when it comes to playing on Game Pass. We're trying to not spend the most fucking money possible.
That's right.
Buy every single $40, $50, $60, $70, $80 game on Game Pass because it's not feasible. It's not feasible. You know what I'm saying? And as great as gaming is, and as much content as it is, at the end of the day, it's not even fucking needed. But so it's complete bullshit, right? That you sit here, you know, and you try to shame, get on E-Rock about paying for the digital equivalent of a game. Hey, that's smart. You know what I'm saying? It's smart to pay less for something. You know what I'm saying? So and by the way, if I find out you own a PS5 Pro that you spent $700 on that bitch, I'm really gonna get on your punk ass because no way in hell are you paying $750 plus tax or however much it came out to be on that bullshit console, and then you want to tell us how to spend our money.
Oh, don't forget the stand doesn't come with it or anything.
Yeah,
so add
no disc drive with it, nothing.
Right?
So, until the day, Eternal, that you pay our bills, don't you fucking tell me a damn thing.
That's
don't
right.
You dare tell E-Rock the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna get you out of here. Because usually I don't ban people, but my friend E-Rock said, "Get them the fuck out of here. You out of here.
Get him out of here."
I mean, hey guys, I'm sorry I went off, but I kind of took that shit personally. I've been out here grinding for these white folks for decades. How you gonna tell me I made bad life decisions, get yourself a better job, nigga? Please, I've been out here grinding for these fucking companies, for these white people, helping build their companies. I've been out here grinding for fucking decades. So if I choose to fucking find a way to save some money, now that I'm on my fucking senior years, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do.
Well, can I say something real quick? It'll be very short.
Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
I just want to say I could care less what anybody, PlayStation or Xbox or PC or anybody thinks about how I pay my money when it comes to my gaming. If you are not paying for my games, I could care less. Yeah, and that may offend somebody, but I don't care because you're not me. You're not paying the money. So why do you care how I spend it? Whether I get a PC or whether I get an Xbox, whether I'm on Game Pass, is irrelevant. So I just want to say that I don't think anybody is in a position to tell anybody about how to buy their games or what they should spend it on or where they should spend it on. So I don't feel like giving him or anybody else or that Brandon guy an explanation of why I spend the games or why it's smart and all that. Who cares? If they want to spend they paycheck every month, every 2 months or something like that.
Their allowance.
Xbox all their money on their PlayStation because
Them
there
niggas
ain't
don't
no
work.
other games over there. You know,
You
so
know
they
what?
gotta be paying somebody.
Them niggas don't work because nobody that works ever talk any dumb shit like that.
Yeah,
Nobody that
nobody
works,
does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
nobody,
yeah.
nobody that grinds for a fucking check ever says any dumb shit like that out of their mouth ever.
Yeah,
Nobody does
yeah.
that. So you know, to sit up there and come to somebody else's podcast and tell them to their face about how they're spending their money on their hobby. This has nothing to do
There's
with you. And
nothing
if
to
you're a
do.
PlayStation only gamer, what are you doing over here? Why do you care? I
Why
mean,
are y'all here?
yeah, why are they
Listen.
here? I guess they here to hear about the games because that's all they paying for over there. You know,
I'm more entertaining. We're more entertaining than their games. That's all they hear.
well,
Or
they
else
playing
they be
Xbox
playing.
games, so I guess when they beat that, waiting on the next one, they got to come over here and see what we got to say about it. You know, but I don't know. All I know is that I could care less what other people think about how I pay my games. They can say whatever they want, but unless they pay for it for me, it's my money. I do what I want with it, and I
That's
spend
right.
it however I want to spend it. So
That's true.
I don't really care what he thinks about how we spend our money. He can think where he can call it welfare pass. Who cares? I'm going to be laughing to the bank as I play my games and still build up my bank account.
And plus, save your
Boom,
money.
boom. Some dude in the comment section named Brandon said these Xbox are delusional. Again, why are you guys here instead
Why
of?
are you
That's right.
here?
You don't have any games, so that's why you're here.
They ain't got no games.
So he said these Xbox dudes are delusional. He actually think Phil Spencer cares about them. No, Phil Spencer doesn't care about us. But he puts on a good front by making gaming affordable for us.
Yeah.
He puts up a
You must
good damn
be
front.
you must be new, Brandon. I say all the time that these companies aren't your friend, and just
Exactly.
because I'm a fan of Xbox, this, and that, I'm not repeating what I'd be saying in the past, but no, man, we're delusional. No, just because we don't give a fuck that a video game goes to another platform. Oh my goodness, Netflix isn't exclusive to iPhones. How's Netflix going to survive, Iraq? That's what they sound like to me now. You know what I'm saying? The reason why we don't care because it's video games, man. And you just can't pay me to be upset over this, man. Not maybe years ago when it first happened, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Hell, the only thing that ever pissed me off was that when Phil lied about the Indiana Jones thing, and it wasn't because it went to PlayStation. It was because there's there's literal visual proof of him lying about it. That was my beef with it. It was my beef was
Yeah. You want him to be transparent. That's all he wants. Be transparent, and he's transparent now, and we're cool with that. And the thing is, Xbox guys aren't. What do we have to be delusional about? We have games over here, and that's what this is all about. I want to again apologize to the podcast. I let that guy get to me. I didn't think that was possible because I'm 56 years old. But like, I'm not gonna have anybody tell me that I haven't grinded this last fucking 30 something years or almost 40. I've been working almost 40 fucking years. That shit got to me because that's like you throw hands over shit like that. I've been out here grinding for these fucking excuse my French, guys. I've been out here grinding for these fucking crackers for decades. Don't you tell me that I ain't been out here fucking grinding, okay? We're not delusional. Phil at least puts up a front that he gives a fuck. Phil puts up a front that he gives a fuck about our fucking wallets. That's why that we have games in Game Pass, whereas PlayStation and Nintendo told y'all to y'all face they don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah,
they told y'all to y'all face you're going to pay $750 for this game, this console. You're going to pay $70 for these games. We're never giving you a Game Pass like equivalent. Nintendo told their fan base you're going to always pay $80 for Mario and Zelda. You're going to pay $450 for outdated hardware, and you're going to like it, and y'all go with it. Whereas Xbox, we push back. Hell, I'm the dude who I think 11 years ago told Phil Spencer, I didn't tell him, I made a video saying, I think he should be replaced. I think he's bad for Xbox, but he has since made a liar out of me. I am a happy consumer of the Xbox product because Xbox saves me money. If anybody got a problem with that, I don't give a shit. I don't think any of you guys are smart for paying more money for these games. A lot of these video games are garbage, especially on Nintendo and PlayStation. A lot of these games aren't worth it. And actually, PC guys have been trying to tell people this for years. If you can get on Steam or Game Pass or get you a game key or something, that's the smart move. There is no flex in saying, man, I paid $750 for a console. There is no flex in saying, man, I'll buy all my games. There is no flex in saying you're paying more for a medium of diminished quality. That's like saying, man, I happily paid for every Marvel movie. Then you're a fucking fool. Okay. Anytime I stopped going to the movies because the movies
Yeah.
were a dwindling proposition. It's
Yeah.
more cost effective to stay home and wait for them
Mhm.
shits to come to streaming. Like
That's
Drop
right.
came to streaming. Drop came to streaming like 6 days after fucking releasing the theaters.
Oh
You
wow.
guys are not smart. It is not a flex. It is not a flex to sit here and say, "Oh, we getting Gears of War Reloaded on PlayStation." Ha ha, Xbox. Ha ha. Yeah, you're paying for it. We ain't paying shit for it. We haven't paid shit for any of these games. And so if that's being a bum, or if that's being a hobo, or if that's being on welfare, hey man, then rock out with your cock out, because guess what? If I could figure out a way to get on food stamps, they won't let me. But if I could figure out a way to get food stamps, let me tell you what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to get that access card and be there with everybody else smiling and be like, how are you paying for this, sir? Bam, access. Anybody is a fool who sits here and tries to flex like they rich. It's ridiculous. I did it once, and guess what? It's a false flex. But man, look, do you.
You know what? I'm gonna give you a good example. I'm gonna give you a good example how people. I mean, that's how people really are in today's world. You know, I told this guy years ago. He went up there and bought himself an $85,000 car.
Ooh.
I went and told him. I said, "Wait till the end of the year that I'll go out there with you. Then we will deal with you with a car." He went and bought Chuck $85,000. Here I am. I got a Ram truck outside. Only 2019. Only paid $28,000 for it. Only had 19,000 miles on it. I'm just saying I don't have to have all the bells and whistles to be satisfied. But you got these people that overspending their means, and that's the reason why we're in the bind that we're in. Because
Hey,
let's
Tuck,
put it like this.
I ain't got the bells. Give me the whistle.
I'm gonna put it like this. What is the biggest problem with the United States today? Back in the day when China was struggling and all that stuff. They went on, they put all their property over there in China, and you see what's going on. Now they want to put things back here.
Yeah.
But it's not like that no more. Everything's globally now. So
Well, we gotta do something, because I can tell you from a person who lives in Michigan, people are celebrating here because he may be saving the car industry. We were in bad shape here, and I can tell you this one thing. Yes, we were. Yes, let me tell you something,
I understand what you're saying.
Let me tell you something, Tuck. Do you know what was being built in Mexico? Now I can tell you, it's this guy. Watch him. He's from Detroit, and he does a podcast, and he was warning people of this. This is before Trump got in there. He said Mexico has allowed. He said they got a plant that's being built there that's going to be one of the biggest in the world. He said it's going to kill us. He warned Detroit this, right?
But let me ask you this though. What is the biggest thing that the American people do? When they turn around, if they get a lot of money, they own all these industries and all that stuff. They own like Best Buy. What they do? They took their stuff overseas for cheaper labor.
Right, it's the labor we can't compete with. That's what the main thing is. It's the labor.
So it goes both ways. Don't give me.
Yeah, I'm not saying everything's innocent. All I'm telling you is what I see. Okay, people can say whatever they want until they live through it. They don't know. That's why I be like, these people say this stuff, but they haven't lived through what I've seen.
No.
Like when you see a city falling apart because all the industry is leaving, or you just, it's getting poorer and poorer, but people looking for work and can't find it. Like NAFTA, I tell you, that was the beginning of the end. But I can go on and on with it. But I'm not going to.
I respect that.
But
I'm
just telling you what I've seen. I'm telling you what I'm seeing today. I'm just putting it out there that there's people who are grateful because the industry they've worked for 30 some years and all that is being said. They can't just pick up and go to something else. It's easy for people to say.
I agree with that.
And real life doesn't work like that.
No, it doesn't.
You spent your life working, doing something. Because I told you, I don't know. I think Zink said something like this too. He said he only buys cars from Detroit, and I told him thank you, because I understand that means that a family is still able to work here. I'm just putting out there. I'm not trying to, but I'm just telling you, it's people behind that. It's people behind.
But there's only one thing about that. There's only one thing about it. When you got a piece that's being made in Japan, a piece that's made over there in Korea,
right?
Everything is coming together.
They sold us out. Exactly.
So when you charging people tariffs and taxes for things that's coming over here that to
What
make
did
the
he
thing,
say? He
it's
said
gonna go up.
if you make it in America, you don't get taxed.
There's no such thing as an all-American car, though.
Yeah, well, he's trying to get some of it back. It's better than letting it all die out.
Hey,
Where were we going before? If they was building a plant in Mexico that was big enough to just flood our market, because remember, we couldn't sell it. You name a country where we can sell our cars at. I'll sit here and wait. We got all the time in the world because you won't find one. Japan, you won't find it. Canada, they didn't allow our cars there. Europe, they didn't allow our cars there. You name one. They could sell and dump here, but we couldn't sell there. And I know that because this was a problem for years, decades even. And I didn't.
You're right. You're right.
Because I first learned about that with Canada. I've been to Canada and I never saw American cars over there. And I never understood that. We live next to each other and I didn't see American cars over there. So how long do you think an industry can keep going when the cars, like you said, the cheap labor is there. They're losing the infrastructure because it's cheaper to do that stuff elsewhere. But we can't even try to survive by selling some of our cars in their market. How you tell me that that's fair?
It's not. Let me ask you this though, Dan. The biggest consumer from over here for our cars, like in Detroit and all that stuff, Canada is the biggest consumer.
They don't buy American cars because they don't sell them over there.
They might not sell them.
They make it hard for you to sell cars over there.
It's not like they don't have good quality cars over there.
It's not. That's not the point. It's about the jobs. That's not even. It's about.
Let me ask you this:
if it was more fair, nobody's saying that.
But let me ask you this: what do you think gonna happen over here? When you got these cars, $85,000, $60,000 for a car, people's not gonna buy that.
Well, yeah, right. It's a lot more that has to happen, but that you have to do something to stop the bleeding, though.
Well,
what do? You let the whole industry collapse. Here's another example: the steel industry. We have one left, and guess who was trying to buy it up? Japan. They almost bought it.
Well, then
they could have stayed on that and said no. Nobody can own it. They can partner or something like that, but they can't outright buy our last steel industry because why? Because it's essential to our defense. We have no more steel companies anymore. We lost all of them.
But let me ask you this though, okay? The people in the steel company, if they own it over here, and this is what I always have said there, if they own it over here, the people who bought it over here, if they own it over here, keep it over here, don't take it overseas. The thing better is our problem in today's world is that they're actually taking things overseas. I mean, China a long time ago wasn't even in this race. China is one of the biggest. China right now is one of the biggest thing, one of the biggest endpoint industries.
China's stealing our IP, our intellectual. I'm sure Microsoft and others that had their IP stolen. How much money have we lost with them taking our IP, especially in the tech industry? Like all the stuff that they're using is stolen IP. Everybody knows it. It's been an open secret for decades at this point.
Man, y'all two niggas here trying to fix a broken system. Y'all might as well declare war. Shit.
No. They're just look. Their discussion is more civil than anything that I be saying.
Yeah, it is. But no. I mean, declare war against our enemies. That's what we're going with this.
Yeah.
That's what we're going with this. Y'all might as well say, look, man,
we can't
going
go
to war.
the way we were going. That's all I can say. And I can say this one last thing, and I'm done with the politics of it. I remember one time I was talking to my husband. And I said, we got into like a health kick thing, and we was for some reason America was making it hard to buy raw milk. I don't know if you guys ever tried to buy raw milk and all that. How the EPA and stuff like that was acting over it. It was ridiculous. I mean, they made it almost impossible for you to buy raw milk because it's supposed to be a lot of health benefits to it and stuff. So I was like, that's strange. I don't understand why they did that. So I started looking, where can we get some good milk, right? And Canada had like some farms and stuff that had some good milk. So I wondered, we live, in Michigan, you live right next to Canada. So it's like, it's like driving to like another part of Michigan. It's really close, right? So I was like, well, man, maybe we can get some over there, whatever, Then I learned, wow, no Americans, like there was no American brand milk over there. And then I was told by a guy who sells milk, right? This is a guy that told us about the raw milk. And he said, oh yeah, the tariffs and stuff, they too high. Nobody can sell over there.
Wow.
It was milk.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. And that
So
was then, huh?
yes, that
Wow.
was way back then. I think it was what was it? It was in probably early 2000s when we was trying to do that health kick thing. And yeah, and that's how I found out because this guy was into like sourcing where you eat and everything. And you know, he was telling us about different stuff, but I was like because there was this brand called, I don't know if you guys ever had it. It was called Thomas Milk. They had some incredible milk, but it was they came from like Jersey cows and all this stuff. Yeah, it was incredible milk, right? And they live in the UP of Michigan. So if you guys see that like little mitten
Oh
part,
yeah,
the
yeah, the
little rabbit
Upper
part, they,
Peninsula. Okay.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
so they lived up there, you know, and boy, they had the most incredible milk and stuff, and that's how I learned that people like that they had incredible product, but they needed more support. And I was like, well, why don't they, you know, sell to Canada? Oh, tariffs too high. They can't. They set the tariffs so high so that a company like that, because they were a farm, could never sell over there to Canada. And I'm telling you this, my honest truth, as your friend, this is the honest truth, God my witness, that I learned that back then in the early 2000s. So when you hear out here saying that, when Trump is saying, yeah, they got all these tariffs on us and they try to prevent us from doing business in their markets, he's telling the truth, because I saw signs of that early on when I didn't even know that. I didn't even know about this stuff. But I live so close to Canada that I know a lot of stuff that he's saying about Canada is actually true. You know, so
Yeah.
you know, Michigan's right next to Canada. I've been over there, you know, so I know that what he was saying about that is true. So all I'm saying is that I just want us to all have fairness when it comes to trade. I'm not saying we should get handouts, but we need to have fairness. And
Yeah,
that's
I
all
agree
I
with
want.
that. I agree.
Because it's wrong to be able to dump all your stuff over here and we can't sell in your market. Why is that?
That's
We're
how
killing our
Dillard.
market.
And you know what? And we're going to get that. That's especially with places like Japan and China.
Japan
That's
is
how it's
real bad
always.
with that.
That's how it's always been.
Yeah.
And all I gotta say about that with the tariffs is you trying to fix a broken system.
Yeah.
I guess I appreciate the sentiment, but good luck. The
Yeah.
consumer,
It might not work. It might not work.
it definitely isn't going to work because it's going to hurt the consumers. And even before these tariffs happen, man, it's just
I know it was
listen,
bad. Yeah.
listen, inflation, people,
Yeah.
life is this. So that's why this whole discussion that we just had, where I blew about this guy telling me how I spend my fucking money.
I know.
I
Yeah.
never seen a hobby where you got other motherfuckers worrying about your pockets.
Yeah.
You got other niggas concerned about how you spend money. I don't care how none of y'all in the comment sections spend y'all money. I don't be trying to tell y'all about Game Pass.
That's
I don't
right.
be trying to tell y'all that I'm over here getting damn near $1,000 of games for fucking $20 a month or $240 a year, whatever it comes out to, man. It's like, yo, do you? But I do know one thing. Because of inflation, shit has gotten crazy. You afford what you can afford, and you adjust your lifestyle accordingly. Like, in my household, man, my family hit me up for shit that they want. Like, hey, how about with these sausages, we have some eggs. Like, eggs? Well, for cereal, can we have some milk? Like, I mean, like what?
Eggs
Like,
high though because of bird flu? That's what I heard. Was that true?
like,
What
man,
was that, Daya?
Wasn't the eggs high because of bird flu? That's
egg,
Oh
what I
yeah,
egg,
well, yeah. For those who don't know, the bird flu that going around has killed such a large percentage of the
of
avian
birds. Yeah.
population.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. But we got to get back on track.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the discussion, but this I'm
Okay,
not.
sorry about that.
I'm not Sega forever.
I know you was gonna say.
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
I don't do the. We're already an hour in, and we need to.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Keybot, I did send you the link, but my friend, you're kind of joining kind of late. So if you do come in, I will probably be rushing you because we're gonna get to the next topic in a minute.
Okay.
The homie Shane G, what's up, Shane G? He said, Xbox give us so much day one for cheap sub service. I will never ever complain. The quality and quantity is amazing with what we get.
Exactly.
The only way
That's true.
We get it all. Yep, exactly, Shane G. And that's how I feel too. Now that I've always had responsibilities now, but now that they've jumped tenfold, it feels like Game Pass feels even better. And it's funny because let me say this real quick, and then
my bad.
because I've had people, Shane G, in chat and panel say, "Hey, Unlimited, I miss your unboxing videos. I miss your collection videos." I'm telling you guys, I'm not buying games right now. And honestly, I'm not going to be buying games like that going forward, right? And it's because that's just where I'm at now. So Shane G, I agree.
This nigga just want a house. This nigga just bought a house. You got adult things going on.
That's
If
right.
you gotta explain that to motherfuckers, then fuck them.
They
But
don't
but
own
but
anything if they
but,
got
yeah. But Shane G, like when you praise Game Pass, you're being called you're a shill. You're a shill. You're a shill. Brandon Smith, South of Midnight came and went. I'm still playing it. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
No, that game good.
That game for me right now.
Hold on. Sorry, Dale. But how is this dude going to talk about South of Midnight when God of War came and went, Spider-Man came and went, Horizon came and went? The Last of Us came and went so much they got to resell it back to you 600 fucking times to keep it relevant.
Unlimited. It keep coming and going and coming and going and coming and going.
Just to keep the damn thing relevant. But go ahead, Dale.
Actually, I can't even follow that.
Like you know what you tell people like Brandon Smith, you treat him like killer man. Go sit your ass down. The last of South of Midnight came and went. Yeah, you sound like a fool, man. Hey, look, y'all still waiting for a PlayStation game to come? Ain't nothing coming over there, nigga. Why are you here? Why aren't you at work?
They still waiting for Ghost of Yate to come out. Y'all, please.
That one game that
that game's gonna come and go too.
It is. Nobody's gonna even think about it. I can tell because you know how it's no hype behind it. I don't hear anybody talking about it.
Remake Station 5, 6 layer. You know what it boils down to? They jealous. They hate the fact that we got all of this over here, and PlayStation treats them like shit. And you know what? It is. Look. If you in an abusive relationship and you like being treated like shit, then do you. Don't come over here hating on us because we enjoying gaming. We enjoying gaming. You guys are the ones who's miserable. We're enjoying gaming.
I fully admit I didn't expect the PlayStation fans to come out the way they did today.
I didn't
My
either.
goodness.
But today is a day for celebration for them because supposedly Gears of War is coming to PlayStation 5. A game we played fucking 10 years ago is coming to PlayStation 5. Like, do you know that a lot of us have moved on from Gears of War? We are. Listen, I got so much
fans of Gears of War. Right?
Well, yeah, I'm a fan of Gears of War, but it's like I'm still trying to finish Avowed. I'm still I'm still trying to finish Avowed. Like I'm still like, and then this month we got Doom coming. Like Xbox is tripping. Xbox is tripping this year. I love it.
And the only thing I like about Doom, and the good thing about Doom, y'all, if we want to play it like 3 days ahead of time, just pay the $31 bucks, and you can play the game ahead of time.
Yep.
They're not holding you. They're not holding you up. You
yes,
need to do
brother.
one of two things.
Yeah.
You can buy it for $31. You have it on the Game Pass. Play it 3 days early. Just like they South of Midnight. South of Midnight was like what? $10?
Yeah, it was.
You pay it 4 days early.
It was $10.
Hey, that's a win-win.
It was
$10 for me. So I'm just saying, people, whether are you gonna pay the full price, or you got a thing like the Xbox Game Pass where they give you options, and that's what you want. Nobody ain't telling you that you don't have to buy the game. You can still buy the game. But if it saves me money not to buy the game, what you think I'm going to do? I'm going to save me some money.
All right.
South of Midnight seems to be the game that everyone wants to play without even playing it. You heard that? You heard
that? Repeat that, Hebot.
I said that South of Midnight, the sentiment behind it, it seems to be the game that everybody wants to hate on and complain, and they haven't even played it.
That's sad.
Because it has Xbox on the fucking the label.
So we know this, E-Rock. By the way, what's up, E-Rock? How are you?
What's up, brother?
Yeah, we know this. Listen, I was telling you guys, I think it was almost 2 years ago, or 1 year now, when I first saw it. That was my most anticipated game because it's a hack and slash. Those are games that I love. But it surprised me in many other ways because it has a lot of good traversal, but the lore itself, how they approached it, the story being dark, mature, the artwork of the game, being able to have the option that you could play the game with the artwork on or with the artwork off. For those who don't feel comfortable looking at it because they're like, oh, it feels a little awkward because it feels like the frame rate is not at the same level as the levels itself. because it's a stop motion, and a lot of people now don't even know what stop motion is, which is wild to us, but because we grew up with that, right? So, that's what it's called. It's called stop motion. But South of Midnight is a hidden gem, in my opinion.
It
The
absolutely
game
is.
is absolutely incredible. It's a surprise. It's one of those games that you play and it's going to surprise you.
Yep.
To
It's
the
a new
point-
it's a new IP too, bro.
It
Plus,
is.
it's a new IP. Plus, it's exclusive. Because Xbox seems to be doing what I see them doing is they're trying to keep all the new stuff exclusive and giving the old scrap to other people so that they can kind of make money off of it. That's the kind of way it looks like they're going. That kind of way.
He bought. We over here playing new IPs. These niggas
Absolutely.
over here playing remasters so they mouthing off. Also,
Right,
he bought.
right.
He bought. Your shit dropped tomorrow, nigga. Captain Blood.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
How did you
Yeah.
know? How did you know? Yeah, I know.
Hey,
Yo,
hey, he bought. I do wake up every week and try to follow these things. I do. He bought mentioned Captain Blood like over 2 years ago on a podcast.
Yeah.
Longer
You
than that.
mentioned
But
it
that was a
long time
360 game. That was a 360 game. I'm just glad it's coming out, and it should be cheap, but it's still a good game because I played the demo, right, on my first team. And it still plays really well. So I think even if you invest, it might look like a dated game graphically, but fun-wise, I think you're still gonna have a lot of fun because it's very good as far as it's a beat 'em up hack and slash with shooting elements. So it has all three elements.
I love
So it should be awesome. And pirates. There's a brolic pirate. He looked like Mel Gibson did in The Patriot. He looked huge.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
That's what he looks like, the main character.
He about be putting you down with shit that's not dropping until 2030, but it do come out eventually.
Yeah.
Look who's talking. The person that was talking about Harold Halibut forever,
Yeah.
and it finally came out last year.
Well,
Come on now.
that was going to be my point there. That's because he about to talk about them small games, but those small games be having like a 10 person development team. That's why the shit takes 8 years to release.
Yeah. For sure. Like the last night, we're still waiting on that. Last night looked incredible.
God. They showed
It's
that in
still
what, 2017?
Yeah, and it's still in development, Iraq. It's still in development. Crazy. Mm-hmm. But listen, as long it is much harder when you're a smaller team with less money. And remember, guys, a lot of people don't understand that once we went into this generation, and I think it started on the Xbox One generation as well, most publishers are all self-published now. You don't have to have an actual big publisher to bring out your game. And I think that's why the due process takes so long, right? Because they got to do all these requirements, requisites, whatever Xbox is, telling them to do. And it's a shame because, again, games like Bramble, which E-Rock played, I think Chuck played it too, fantastic game.
I had to buy the physical copy of that one.
Yeah, so did I. Absolutely. Like, we're getting the Illusion Island, which was exclusive on the Nintendo Switch all this time, and those are the same people, Delilah, who did the, Battletoads for Xbox, right?
Oh, okay.
So their game is finally coming. That was exclusive on Switch for like 2 years, 3 years. It's coming on Xbox this month also on May 30th. I think it is May 30th. But they have a physical. It's only $30 and you can get it in places like Best Buy. So I'm getting that as well. Another game that's a beat 'em up in 3D that came out that's pretty awesome is called Killboard or Kyborg.
Yeah, I had to pass on that when it was because it's like a roguelike, something like that.
Well, the roguelike elements are very, very minimalistic. That's why I say light. I tried it. I bought it. It's not that bad. Plus, if you're good at something, you know how you're good at RPGs, for example.
Yeah,
you're not gonna die easy, so you're not gonna have to worry about it. So since I'm good at beat 'em ups, I haven't had a problem.
Okay, yeah.
You're not really good at beat 'em ups, then you might have a
because two genres that could get me to pass on your game: roguelikes and souls likes. Once I
Souls like, and even RTS to an extent too.
Yeah, those two, I don't even give it a try anymore.
Did you try to demo Berserker or whatever? That one that seemed pretty good.
Yeah, but it has too much. It has heavy elements of Souls. That's the problem. The games look incredible. They look great, but the game mechanics is basically by design. You have to die, and then
right.
in order for you to level up,
there's another. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was gonna say get certain magics, get certain weapons, and then when you finally level up enough, you can fight certain characters. And so it's not skill based. It's not learning a pattern and how to beat certain bosses or certain enemies. It's all if you're leveled up enough, then you can finally kill them. If you have a fucking certain weapon, then you can kill them. If you have a certain armor, then you can kill this certain type of enemies. It's all based on your level up, what type of armor you got, what type of weapon, what type of magic, and then you can fight certain aspects or certain characters, and that's when you progress. So it's very, very tedious. That's why I hate it.
Yeah. There's a game that looks amazing called Mandragora.
Yes.
But in the description it said Master Souls like combat. I was like, oh no. You lost my $30 there.
Yeah, I can't. And then people are like, it's because you're not skilled. You got to see when I say something about Souls games. I'm like, it's because you're not skilled. I say, no. There's a difference.
I just don't find that shit fun. It's no more complicated than that.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's a difference between being skilled or not skilled, rather, right? And having to sit there and dedicate hours upon hours just to do one thing in the game.
Yeah, but otherwise, everything about that game looks amazing. The art style, looks like even the trailer. When I saw the trailer, I gotta get this. Yeah. I looked at the description, said Master Souls like combat. I said, no. Yeah. I was upset too because I'm like, this game looks too good.
So that's why I recommended Wanted Dead. Solstice, because those games are traditional hack and slash, and they're fantastic.
And
I like those. I like hack and slash.
But we have another one coming on the holidays.
Sorry to cut you off, Hebot.
No.
Back on topic.
No worries.
You missed the first topic, man. It was about Gears going to PlayStation, but I'm sure you'll do a video on that. Because I didn't get a chance to talk about this part last week. I think Hebot did on a video. And that's Microsoft raising the prices on pretty much everything Xbox related except Game Pass, right? And E-Rock also wanted to speak on it too. And I'm also glad Daya and Tuck joined so we could get everybody's thoughts on this. So I'm gonna start with and by the way, guys, we are kind of getting there on time, so let's try to
keep it short and concise, right?
Yeah, okay. Concise is exactly what I'm looking for. But E-Rock, I know you want to go on and let me get your thoughts on Microsoft increasing them prices pretty much everything but Game Pass. I think it started now for the hardware and with the games later this year.
This is what it is now. People in the comment section can say that we shilling or that we what you're making excuses for Microsoft. Look, guys, for the last time, and again, I'm sorry I got worked up earlier. But I don't. You try to attack me personally, I'm gonna come at you. I don't care who you are. But as far as these price increases, man, this is what it is for right now. As I said before, Nintendo, for reasons unknown to me, their cartridges was $79 back in the 90s.
Yes.
No tariffs in sight anywhere. So I mean, it's disheartening as a gamer to see games go from $34 on the Dreamcast, $39 on the Dreamcast, right? You could cop the Dreamcast console for $200, a couple of games, and man, you was in there, right? It's disheartening to see games go from $39 to $50 to $60 to $80. It really is. It's disheartening. But again, yes, Remake Station 5. Towerborn is awesome. I'm sure Dia is enjoying it. I tried it for a second, man, but I had to get back on Assassin's Creed Shadows because there's so many games now. It's ridiculous. It's disheartening to see games going up. Before Hebot came in, we already just had a heated discussion about the tariffs, so we're not going to go back through that again. This is what it is. And PlayStation, again, like I said, they released a $750 console and $70 games. A year ago or 2 years ago, $70 games. And last November, they released a $750 box that isn't even better than the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X, and with no tariffs in sight. So this is what it is, man. These companies, Microsoft, PlayStation, imagine the tariffs hit PlayStation. My God, what are y'all going to do? if that console goes up to
gosh.
$890 or whatever, this is what it.
I know what they're gonna say.
Yeah, they're gonna be fine with it, like they always are. PlayStation and Nintendo good, Xbox bad. This is what it is, man. And these price increases are more of a selling point for Game Pass. All of us that had Game Pass for the last 8 years, Tuck, Sega Man, Dia, Unlimited Production, Bebop, it now looks like we were ahead of the curve. So, y'all coming here hating us in the comment section. We had one guy coming in here like, oh, y'all happy renting games. You should get a better job. You should make better life decisions. Dia, cover your ears. Nigga, suck my dick and then eat a bag of dick. Don't tell me how to spend my money, bitch. Hey, look, Colin, I'm sorry. That shit bothered me, nigga.
I get it, man. I
didn't think that was possible for somebody to get me upset at 56. That got me upset because I've been out here grinding all my goddamn life, and I got the wounds and busted knee and injuries to show for it, man. Covering for these damn owners because they buses was fucked up, and covering for these bosses while they was out getting coffee, and I got to deal with their customers. I put in my grind, dog. So again, if you could save me money, seeing now the games are $80 and the Xbox Series X is what is that shit now? $600? Mm-hmm. When I've been saying for years now that the cap on console should have been $300. That should have been the cap. That's the sweet spot. But these manufacturers said, fuck all of this. I've been saying that the Xbox Series X is 4 years old or 5 years old. That shit should be $300. And the Xbox Series S should be I don't know, $199, right? $150. You should be trying to get rid of this shit. Because now what you do is you put Best Buys and these retailers in a situation where since they've already bought the boxes, they're going to have to give price cuts and get them shits out of there, or they're not going to move. But that's not my problem. See, what y'all guys don't understand in the comments section, talking shit about me and how I spend my money is, I don't have no skin in this game. You guys are shills for Xbox. I don't own any stock in Microsoft. I'm an end user. I'm a consumer. I'm not friends with Phil. I don't want that nigga to come over for dinner. I don't want to come into my house. Nigga might get over here like, damn, man, you need to fix your back. Like, nigga, you give me the money to fix it. I'll go get it fixed. Listen, man, I don't have no skin in the game. All I know is that Xbox provides a service, and that service is Game Pass. And Game Pass saves me about $1,000 a year, judging by how much I gain. I'm going to take that bet. I don't care what you do in the comment section. I'm going to take that bet because I need my money for food. I need my money. I need my $80 for eggs, which is now $100 for a carton, a 6. I need my money for other things. So yeah, this game's going to $80. Bother some people. Everybody made their little videos. Oh, Xbox is dead. Oh, Xbox, they raised the prices on y'all. Y'all talking this crap 2 years after Sony raised the prices on y'all. Y'all talking this crap after Sony had the galls and the balls to charge y'all $750 for a console without a disc drive. What are we talking about? When this conversation started about an hour and a half ago, I said, when are we going to stop talking about this shit? When are we going to stop having to address this foolishness? Microsoft is raising the prices on consoles, controllers, and games. Don't buy them. Nobody said you got to buy this shit. Nobody said you got to even be involved in gaming. If gaming is too expensive, like me and Sega Man said 4 years ago, gaming is expensive. If it's too expensive for you, get out of it. Go fishing or play checkers, man. It is what it is. Dark Sin said, do you know that Naughty Dog just canceled another game today? Listen, no, PlayStation might as well change its name to Cancellation Station. And y'all in the comments talking shit about Xbox, man, sit y'all asses down. I know one thing, Xbox's games are coming out on time. They're coming out now at $80, and it is what it is. That's why you get Game Pass. This now, Microsoft raising their prices on games. PlayStation charges $750 there. Nintendo charges $80 for their games and $450 for outdated hardware. All of this shit there, these tariffs, these consoles going up, all of this shit there is an advertisement for how great
Yeah,
Game Pass
Game
is.
Pass, yeah.
And as Sega Man says, I'm going to land my plane on that. The
Oh
price hike
shit,
don't.
Sega Man.
The price hike don't affect me because I have Game Pass.
The link. Excellently put there, E-Rock. Excellently put. And yeah, so I'm guessing you're referring to this here Dark Sin. Naughty Dog reportedly had 3 single-player projects in development last year, 1 canceled. Because the article was from yesterday, so I'm assuming this is what you're referring to, Darth. If so, let me know, because that's the only thing I could find on them canceling games that's recent. But yeah, go ahead.
It costs too much money to make these games, and you guys don't buy games over at PlayStation. And apparently, except for us, Xbox gamers weren't buying games, so they're going third party. It is what it is. You adjust, you adapt, or you become like Blockbuster did. You get left behind.
Yep. Okay, 6A and Darth said yes, that's what they're referring to. All right, Tuckmaster, you still there?
Yes, I am.
All right, Tuck, let me get your thoughts on this. Microsoft, last week, they raised the price of pretty much everything Xbox related except for Game Pass. What are your thoughts here?
Well, I'm going to, y'all want me to tell you the truth and just tell you a damn lie?
Tuck, this show's called what?
Yeah, Unlimited Truth.
Unlimited Truth. Yeah.
Okay. The number one is like this, y'all. Now, for myself, for people who already got an Xbox and all that stuff, I'm not even worried about that, okay? Because, we already did what we had to do to get our product in our house and all that stuff. But like I'm saying, and I'm going to always bring this up, blame it on the orange guy. Blame some of it on the orange guy. Because,
okay, let it go.
No, I'm telling you, what I'm saying is this. Instead of him to come to the table and negotiate with these people that he need to negotiate with, Canada, our nearest ally, Mexico is our ally. He's made enemies of them now. That's what I'm talking about. If he'd went down there and talked to them and all that stuff about what his plans is, instead of him just doing what he did, it probably would have been a better situation. But no, he went on there and did this. He went on there and did that. He didn't have to do that. All he had to do is negotiate with him, and they probably said okay. Now, as far as like this Xbox and these games and all that stuff is concerned, they're gonna have to go over in price, like E-Rock said. The cost to make these games, and the cost to do these controllers is gonna cost them money. And I'm hearing, it's like the weirdest thing. I'm hearing that people say, well, Microsoft can eat the tariffs. Man, what kind of company do you think is gonna eat that? No company's gonna eat that. They're gonna put it right back on the consumer. I don't give a care if they're if they're $1 trillion company or what. They're not gonna eat that. Everybody says, well, they can eat it. No, they can't. PlayStation's not gonna eat it.
Come on, Tuck, preach.
They're not gonna eat it. So who's gonna have to eat it? The consumer's gonna have to eat it no matter what. I'm gonna give a good example. Like my old man truck, I put a brand new alternator on it not too long ago. The mechanic told me straight up, if you'd have waited a couple of days or so, a couple more days, instead of that alternator cost you $500 with labor and everything, it cost you $700 because the tariffs and everything's raising up on them too. So I'm just trying to say, when it comes down to, it's a global economy. You got to work together either way it go. Everything's not going to be made from the United States. It might be published here, but parts and everything, no, it don't work that way. Everything globally. So everything that's like Microsoft is, get their manufacturing base over there with all these games over there in China. So when it comes down to that, yes, the tariffs will raise them up. The tariffs going to raise them. Don't get me wrong. We already understand that it was already bad enough that they would raise the games up anyway. But all he had to do was negotiate with these people. He didn't want to do it. Now we're in the situation that we're in now. Now here they are, these rich people saying that eggs have went down. Eggs have not went down. The last time I went to the store, eggs were still $6.50 for a carton of eggs. So good thing I found a person that raises eggs. She got her own chicken coop. She only charged me like $4.50 for a dozen.
Damn.
So I can deal with giving her money than give these doggone grocery stores money. Bacon went up, meats went up. Hey, dude, a couple years ago, you could have went to the doggone store and bought a package of meat. About a package of hamburger meat for like $8, but now it's like 15, 16
Yes.
bucks.
Preach, Tuck, preach.
It's like 15, 16 bucks right now because of this man is raising these tariffs for no doggone reason at all. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand that you need to raise. I mean, you need to do some of this stuff, but you need to hurt the American consumer all of a sudden. Now, I'm gonna play this to you. What about people losing money on their 401 damn K right now? People losing $35,000, $40,000, $50,000 on their 401k, all because of these tariffs. That's money that you ain't gonna never be able to recuperate if you're retirement. That's money that you ain't gonna never ever be able to recuperate.
So people,
it's like now all of a sudden, they run this doggone thing on the government, and this on the government end is that if you want to get an early out, they'll pay you your full. They pay you your full payment for like 6 months, but after that, your ass out. And the thing that is, if you do decide to take another government job, you got to pay that money back. You got to pay that money back that they gave you. But the thing that is, your ass without a job. So
people don't live in the real world, Tuck. People don't live in the real world. Ain't no company going to eat it on these tariffs, and it's everywhere. It's just not the tariffs; it's everywhere. Real quick, and I'm done. WWE, the wrestler company, just released like 20 people, right? And so everybody was like, "Well, WWE makes money. They should have kept those people employed." They're not going to do that. A company's job like Xbox is to make this shit called profits. You cannot make profits by paying 20 people $300,000 a year. You cannot make money. Xbox cannot make money by fucking charging y'all $20 for fucking video games. It's just I give up, man. I just can't do it, Tuck.
Like Six.
Look at AEW did the same thing.
Yeah.
Six Slayer said right here. These like Six Slayer said, and this is true, that corporations are legally obligated to make all the money they can. That is absolutely true. And for those who don't know why that's the case, way back in what's the dude who created Henry Ford? When he tried to, when he tried to pay people more salaries and all this stuff, shareholders literally sued him. They literally sued him. Yeah, and the Supreme Court ruled that corporations and the CEOs and all them people are legally obligated to make as much money as they can. I did not know this, and that is why. That's why nowadays, these corporation companies do what they do. I saw. Speaking of WWE, apparently, I saw a video. They said WrestleMania, some of the tickets were $30,000, something crazy like that. You right there. UFC, because I love my sports, so I follow all that shit. They hiked up their prices. It's
everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere. And with that said, Tuck, like I said, we got to be concise. So try to start wrapping up.
Let me make this one more point right there. I want to make this one more point before I leave. Okay, Dad, you live in? Is Dad still here?
I'm still here.
Okay, Dad, you live in Michigan, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me ask you this. Now I know you know that y'all are on Canada's electricity grid, or some of y'all are. I'm not gonna say all of you.
So not all, right?
Okay, but let me ask you this. Now, if they raise the price on them, now don't forget, Canada can turn around and be a butthole about the thing and cut the energy off from them. Period.
Well, they were gonna do that, so.
But they were gonna do it, but they ain't gonna do that. They losing money on that.
Well, if we say that you believe it, but if they say it, you don't. I mean,
but if this guy don't negotiate, if this guy right here don't come and negotiate with them, you never can tell what they're gonna do. That's just the truth.
I don't want to get into a back and forth.
No, I mean, no, it's going to take up time.
Yeah. The topic was Xbox, and I get it. All that stuff does tie together, but
yes, it does. But I would have to go into more than.
I'm sorry, Dale. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. But as far as with Microsoft, what they doing, they don't have no choice. They don't got no choice in the matter. So
right.
After that, that's it. I'm done with it.
All right, good stuff there, Tuck. Daya 4568. Naturally, you're next on the list here to talk about this topic. Microsoft has raised pretty much the prices of everything Xbox related, except for Game Pass. What are your thoughts on this?
Okay, as I see it, I'm not doing revisionist history here. So I remember coming into this gen that PlayStation was the very first one to bring the prices up on games.
100%.
And then
100%.
all of a sudden, you saw the games go up, and then they started piecemealing everything. And then all of a sudden, and by the way, Nintendo did say and admit that the initial cost was not due to tariffs, that they were looking to move the date so that they could then raise it higher because of tariffs, which they decided not to do. So I want to place these things out here because it's very easy. All of the industry. By the way, how many people was losing their jobs before Orange Man got in there? I'm waiting and I'm listening. All of this stuff is not being factored in. The gaming industry already had problems. I'm not saying tariffs don't factor in. They do. They absolutely do. Because a lot of our tech and all that comes from China. The whole Thank you. I'm because I look at everything. All right. And yes, I'm emotional because I see people's lives being affected in Michigan that people forgot about decades ago. Nobody seems to care about them.
Yeah,
we do.
I hear
okay.
that.
So so that's why I'm standing there as somebody who still cares about them and not the global market. Okay. But with that being said, the gaming industry was not doing well. We had mass layoffs all over the place, still getting them. Okay, so is that Orange Man's fault? No, we had problems in the gaming industry long before we got this is just adding
damn straight
that were already there. Okay, so with that being said, and I'm not saying that the tariffs don't factor in, it does, but putting all of that, everything that ever been done by PlayStation and Nintendo, that's just ridiculous to me. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. I love you, Tuck, but that's just how I feel. Now,
Microsoft is they're doing their manufacturing for their Xbox Series X in Southeast Asia. They don't do it in China, so they're not getting tariff. That's not why they're bringing it up. I'm going to tell y'all why, because everybody's wrong. But I'm going to show you the proof. So go ahead. Talk.
Okay, I'm glad because you're really good with that. But let me just say this. The game industry has so many problems because the games are too expensive. We know this, okay? They're trying to find solutions to this. This is why Microsoft has made the decisions that they've made. They have not made it because they wanted to just leave the industry as it was. They had no choice. They had to adapt. So all of this stuff is about adapting, okay? And Xbox has risen their prices because they better darn well do so because their games are not worth less than a Nintendo game.
Absolutely.
And if they want to call themselves a high-end gaming console, as they were labeled under the EU, then they need to be high-end. Then that means that their games are not any less than what Nintendo is charging for theirs. Their console is the best in the market. Their games, in my opinion, are the best in the market.
Come on, dear.
Look at how COD was released and stuff, and people praise it. Look at, in my opinion, Indiana Jones should have been Game of the Year. And I can't even begin to tell you about South of Midnight, how incredible that game is. Okay, it really caught me off guard how good that game is. Avowed 2, that completely surprised me. So they are on their game in the best possible.
They're the only ones pushing the industry forward, dear. They're the only ones.
Yeah,
they're the only ones coming out with new IPs. What the fuck is what the fuck are the Japanese companies doing? Nothing.
Thank you. They're putting the money in there. They're doing all of that. So you're telling me that Microsoft should sit in that low market, trying to entice people to get their consoles. You know what? If you didn't get a console too late, okay, now you're paying the premium price that you should have been paying from the beginning. And as much as I don't like the price increases, because I understand
I don't like it either.
Prices people out. I understand that. But the fact is, if everybody else is going to do it, and if the so-called market leader, who really is Nintendo, if you're going to talk about the console space, right? If you're talking about that, because they sell their games and they sell their consoles at a high rate. We all know that, okay? So they're dictating this. And if that's the case, that's who you should be upset at, because Microsoft was the last to do it. They kept those prices on the consoles and the games, and they're reasonable with the games. I will say that. Look, what did South of Midnight come out as? What did Avowed come out? As far as
$50 and $49.
Thank you. Except Indiana Jones is a AAA game. It should have been at the highest cost they could ask for. So, in my opinion, they are not doing anything wrong. They have to meet the market where it is, because of the type of product that they produce. Okay, they have to. They can't be asking for less. They were taking a hit on the consoles. They can no longer do that. Again, tariffs, everything. Let's add all that in there. they can no longer
You got
take
that
those
right
hits.
there.
Okay, they can no longer take those hits. So they have to ask for that cost in order to be a healthy company. And by the way, next quarter, watch and see that the console was the only thing holding them back. Everything else was doing great. That will not be the case moving forward. Now everything is going to look in the green because whatever they sell now moving forward, they are no longer going to take a loss at it. And that's where I stand on where the market is and how I see it in a macro sense. All right, go
Excellent.
ahead.
Excellent stuff.
Excellent point there. Excellent point.
Yeah, excellent stuff there, Dea. And Hebot, I'm passing the mic to you. As you see on screen, last week it was announced everything everything Xbox related, prices was increasing except for Game Pass. So let me get your thoughts. Remember, be concise, because I know we be here.
So
I know that you can go for a whole. I see your videos when you just alone; they're like 50 minutes. So
I can do for like 2 hours, right? Listen,
yeah.
Do me a favor, brother. To make it a more easier and concise, do me a favor. Put up there, look up how much Microsoft loses on every sale of Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
Put it up there. Put it up there, please.
Yeah. But go speak while I'm searching, please.
Well, okay. The reason why I'm asking Brother Unlimited to do that is because Microsoft, since the release of the Series X and S, lose $100 and $200 for each console, respectively.
Mm-hmm.
This has been way before any tariffs. Has nothing to do with the tariffs. The reason why Microsoft is increasing the price is because still to today they're losing that much. Sony and Nintendo do not. Because being Asian companies, they don't get charged the prices that they get charged for manufacturing in Asia or in any Asian country because they're an Asian company, right? Meaning, they're either Japanese, Korean, whatever, right? Microsoft is American. They choose to outsource because of low pay wages and paying less for parts, right? So they lose about $200. You see it up there, right? So what Microsoft is doing is basically bringing up the cost so that they no longer lose any money on the Series X or S because it's selling the least anyway.
Yep.
And plus, they are the ones, like Dea said, that are giving the most value for their hardware. So why would they put their console out there next to a Nintendo Switch that is 15-year-old architecture, right? Even though there's this fallacy going around that is more powerful than the S itself when it's not, right? Because of the fact that they know if it's in the market, all it's going to look like, oh, look, that console has no value.
Give me 1 second, Hebot. Remix Station, the reason why the $200 loss is because it costs more to produce than they're selling it for. But continue.
And because it's more to produce for Xbox to make X's, because the hardware has real technology that the PS5 and the
tell them consoles have been a loss leader since the Sega Genesis.
Absolutely. But now more than
again. Sorry to cut you off, but I like to back up everything you say. Like it says in this same article, new consoles, with the exception of some Nintendo hardware, are typically sold at a loss. And made back. The money's made back through games and by the way, this is literally nothing new. All right, on how the money is made in gaming. But continue, Kiba.
But see, the thing is, why Microsoft pays and loses is because they have hardware. You guys don't understand that the more the architecture of a console is relegated or relatively similar to PC, the more expensive it's going to be because the technology is expensive. What am I talking about? Microsoft has VRR, which is variable refresh rate, built in the actual hardware. It wasn't firmware based like PS5 and PS5 Pro, and you can look it up through Brother Unlimited while I'm talking and show it up there in screen. Microsoft has Dolby Atmos surround, Dolby Vision HDR. The PS5 does not. Those are Dolby-owned technologies, which are super expensive and is the highest end quality for theaters, movie media, and game. Microsoft has DirectX 12 Ultimate integrated in the hardware with real RDNA 2, right? Go look if the PS5 or the Pro have it. No. They do not have no dedicated, no compatibility with DirectX 12. That's why their games, they opted to do the PS5 Pro and bring up and accelerate the GPU instead of the CPU, because the CPU is what correlates with DirectX 12. So that's why the frame rate is always better, even though they may have a little better foliage or a little better ray tracing. But the frame rate and the resolution keeps dropping because that's GPU based. CPU based is the actual frame rate and the actual NPCs on screen and the actual detail, or how aggressive the details are, right? So that's CPU based. That's why DirectX Ultimate was implemented in the hardware. So Microsoft pays more than any other company. Nintendo probably pays like a fraction of what they pay for S and an X, but they're still having the goal and the audacity to sell their console that's coming out for $200, $450 and $500. Right?
They got big balls.
Let's not forget, Nintendo sold us cardboard for $95 in Labo. Okay? So Labo was $95 and nobody cried. They said, it's the quality of Nintendo games. I'm sorry. Mario Kart World does not have real world environment, does not have real world musicians and music in their radio station, does not have real world cars, real world damage, real world lighting, effects, real time weather. None of that is included in any.
And it never will, because that ain't Nintendo's twist.
Exactly, because it's all fake. But yet they think their Mario game is better than Forza, and they're being shown to you for $80 and $90. Meanwhile, you can get Forza right now, Horizon 5, physical or Xbox for $20.
Damn.
Okay? Physical, with all the content in it. It's in the disc.
Damn.
Right? You don't need internet. You don't even need to connect it. It'll work. You just put it in and it works. Mind you, they're giving you DLC separate. When you get all DLCs, when you pay $100 for the early access for Forza. And we all seem to forget, Forza Horizon 5 sold 10 million copies in early access, meaning it was there before it went into Game Pass. So it sold 10 million copies before it was on Game Pass. And it coincides right now at 45 million players, and now with PlayStation has 46, because it sold like 800,000 units. I'm kidding.
Wow.
The Mario Kart doesn't give you the DLC. They already told you. DLCs are still going to be charged separately. So we can get to the point. I want to be as concise as possible. It has nothing to do with terrorism. It has nothing to do with terrorists. But the only thing that has to do with terrorism is Microsoft could charge less if they didn't do their manufacturing in Southeast Asia and do it at home here in America. Because that's the whole point. Everybody in the fucking world has took advantage of America. We are 37% of the revenue in the entire China. We are 20 and 32% of the entire revenue of Canada. And we don't need their resources. We can do it ourselves. We're just allies with them and help them help them build their countries, right? So now what's happening is he's trying to set that back so that he can make the economy get back to where it needs to be. And this is not about quality. I'm just explaining why it has nothing to do with the content, right? So that way the money could come straight from here. We don't have to rely on nobody else, like for oil, for plastics that's made with oil, and any of those things. And they could pay us the same way we've been paying them. Would it seem like it's not in the right place at the beginning? Of course, because everything takes time to adjust. But once it's all in place, that's why all 50 countries already recited. The only person that's trying to play the final balls is China, because they're so arrogant. They think they can control the entire world.
Yeah.
They don't respect nobody. They don't even respect their own people. They're a communist country. They don't care about our well-being. You think we can go to China and tell them, yo, bro, give us a break. We don't want to do this. They're going to tell us to go fuck ourselves, or they're going to kill us because we're not from there. We can't go in their country without paperwork because then that's not how it works. So again, it has nothing to do with terrorists. It has to do with Microsoft paying $200 still to this day and losing it. And they're saying, we're not losing no more, because to end what I'm saying, Microsoft is the only company that would make sense that they charge upkeep or upcharge for their stuff, like peripheral controllers and things of that.
Yeah.
Because it's an actual forward investment. What do you mean by that, Heba? When we buy an Xbox Series X controller, guess what? We were already guaranteed by Phil himself and Satya and everybody at Xbox that controller will go forward with us on any future console.
Yep.
Can you use the Nintendo Switch controller on the new Nintendo Switch too? No. Can you use any PS4 controllers on the PS5? No.
That's crazy.
All peripherals go forward with you. So you're paying an extra $5. Guess what? You're still taking it with you. All my 400 controllers that I have in my brother Unlimited, we don't have to worry about if it's dead weight.
And don't forget,
with the next
you also use it with any PC, which is also Microsoft.
Absolutely. Thank you. Another great point, Pete, there. Also, Microsoft gives us free upgrades, people.
Yep.
Gears 4 Ultimate, although unfortunately they're giving scraps to PlayStation for a 40-year-old game that we played 40 years ago, right? And yes, I'm being condescending and a little bit stupid. Yes, you guys know what I mean. We don't pay for it if we own it digitally, which I do. It's free. Guess what? You gotta pay $40 on PlayStation. Would anybody with any goddamn smart and any kind of intelligence in their head, would you go and pay $40 for something you can get free on Xbox? No.
According to people that was in here earlier, they would.
Yeah. That's because you didn't say that to make it seem, but I guarantee you, all those people in that comment section, they don't even have more games than our brother E. And E-Rock don't collect like that. I guarantee I'll put $1,000 and down and pay it out that they don't have it. That they don't have more games than E-Rock. And E-Rock don't buy like us. Like me and you and Sega Man, they don't buy like us. And I
don't buy like you, Sega Man Unlimited, and I've invested. I got thousands of dollars invested in this shit. And the thing is I can go back and play any of them today because they're all on my hard drive.
That's another great point. We have free backwards compatibility with upgrades. We have free cloud saving. You don't have that on PlayStation or Nintendo. It's under a paywall. Shit, Nintendo made chat. Speaking of the chat, under a paywall.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a button,
it's free for us.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Now, what else is free? Let's see. We got free dedicated servers, which on PC and anywhere else, you have to pay based on games, and then if you don't pay, it's based on the game as well. We get free dedicated server for every game. All they have to do is the developer adds it on. It's free. We get a free 4K player with that added drive that we don't have to pay $90 for separately, and we have a stand for that $600 console, right, that we so-called have, and we get to play real 4K media. We don't have to buy it separately. What else do we get, guys? We also get
you can emulate with it.
Take our entire library for 4 generations with us going forward.
Mm-hmm.
We have actual DLI integrated in the controller, not through firmware like PlayStation, meaning direct latency input on the controller. And we can go to GameStop and trade in our old console, pay $200, get for it, and only pay $300 for an Xbox Series X. Even if it's $600, we only pay $400 if we got $200. So again, no one's losing, not on Xbox, because we're not forced to buy a $70, $80 game, which that'll only be the AAA games like Fable and Gears.
You're right.
That's not going to be something like Rambo or Far From Midnight or Gunk, no, or even Hi-Fi Rush. You already seen it. They always been consistent. Games like that always are priced accordingly. Recore, 40. Gunk, 30. Far From Midnight, 40. Yeah. You say Hi-Fi Rush, 30. They never.
Hellblade 2 was like $50, something like that, right?
That's right.
I believe so. Yes, it was. It was $50. So we're never going to be upcharged for something that they feel is not worth the price because they're not stupid. But Microsoft is spending billions of dollars a year to add games to Game Pass, paying developers, and they're spending millions of dollars to make games like Doom Dark Ages, which guess what, people? In a week, we play free.
That's right.
Guess what? We played Expedition 33, Towerborn, Hellblade, Indiana Jones, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 Remastered, Far From Midnight. What else am I missing, guys? Expedition 33. It's been like 6 games in 1 month. 6 games in 1 month. You motherfuckers and Nintendo gonna get 3 games throughout the year at $80 with Mario Kart, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and Metroid Prime 4. Right? And you got to pay for it. You can't play it on a service. You can't even play a fucking demo because they're not even going to throw you a bone and give you a demo. And you got to pay $80. And if you buy a physical, good luck. That's about $90, right? And they're nowhere near the quality because they still look like kid games. They still look like a 360 enhanced game, right? So, again, where's the problem? We don't have to buy it. And we don't have to pay $80. We're going to be able to play Fable, Forza Horizon 6, Gears of War E-Day, Everwild, and every other contraband. Contraband.
All day.
All those beautiful games we're going to play at our own leisure, at our own ability to pay for it. And when we're able to buy it, we can buy it at our own, request, and when we're able to afford it with our pockets.
All right, he bought. It's been 15 minutes. Time to wrap it up, man.
No problem.
I had you on a timer.
No problem. No problem.
Wow.
Brother. I know you're not taking forever. That does like 10-hour podcast. We get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to hear more, just go see my video. I break it down.
Yeah.
All right, great stuff there, Hebot. All right, thank you for joining this episode of The Limited Truth. I don't even know what to add after that one. That was a great conversation.
Yeah,
all y'all killed it. This is the rare time we have. Well, there's more different political views than opinions on all this, but still, excellent show as always, guys. It's always great to hang out with the family. Hebot, Tuck, E-Rock, Daya. I forgot to give Sega. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot to give Sega Man the link. I kind of feel bad because I like when he joined us too.
Oh no, okay.
Well, he doesn't even know the show happened because usually I try to hit to hit him up. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. So I have to make it up to Sega Man in the future for that one. Daya, haven't heard of Daya in a few weeks. Yeah, man, it's always great to have Daya around. But everybody, thank you for joining on this edition of The Olympic Truth. I know Monday isn't usually the day that we do this, but there's a lot of news and stuff to talk about. I didn't get a chance to really talk about the price raising last week because I was so alive. I was so busy. I got Zinc, man. How you gonna come at the end of the show?
Wow, man? Zinc.
Devil's Jr.
You said
well.
I'm still alive. You get out of here.
Oh man. All right, but you guys have a great rest of your week, and we are out.
All right, bye, guys.
All right, guys.